Hello everyone, it's Pixel again, and I am back with another review. This time I'm going to be reviewing another one of my personal favorites, which is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Death. So, first and foremost, I own nothing. Everything belongs to the rightful owners, so please go and support them and be nice. And also, some viewers may find this disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised, please. So yeah, another pokepasta. Now, this one to me is kind of unique, since it's not about like the older Pokemon games or anything like that, but rather about the Mystery Dungeon series. Well, the first ones. Like Explorers of Darkness, Explorers of Sky, and Time. But yeah, and it actually kind of, well, I'll get to it later, but it does put a good spin on the characters. So yeah, this story begins with the narrator explaining how they got a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeons game, which is Explorers of Sky, and they're shocked to find out that they can be Vulpix in this game, since the narrator reveals later that they're a Vulpix fan. And yeah. Sorry about that. But once they do the test in the beginning of the game, the results came out and they got a Squirtle. Of course, Squirtle appears to be not a favorite of the author, so they reset their DS, and the results, it goes on for a while until they eventually get Vulpix, and of course they choose a Shinx to be a Vulpix's partner, which they name Shadow. And eventually it begins. But it doesn't start off with how Mystery Dungeons is supposed to start out, with your character waking up on the beach, just unconscious, but rather we see that the Vulpix that was chosen is laying in a pool of blood, and then Shinx, or I should say, bleh, sorry, I can't speak. Shadow comes into frame and sees Vulpix unconscious, and in a rather seems to want to kill Vulpix, because he says that this will make things right if he kills her. But Shadow decides against it and takes the Vulpix somewhere else, into that weird shark, I forgot what it's called. It's been a while since I played Mystery Dungeons. And once the Vulpix wakes up, she's eventually too hurt to move or stand on her own, and Shadow comes in with a berry and sees that she's awake and tells her not to make any noise, and drops the berry in front of her and tells her to eat it slowly and softly, to not make noise. the Vulpix does as she's told, and he then asks her for her name, which is apparently Myra, or Mira. Which, side note, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right, and if I am, I apologize. Oh boy. And Shinx, or Shadow, sorry, I'm not used to the whole nickname thing. Shadow seems to be disappointed in that answer and says that he was hoping that Vulpix was someone else. And the screen turns to static for a bit, and the author notices some kind of weird shadowy figure behind Shadow. And Shadow then realizes that she heard. Now, we'll find out later who he's talking about, and sorry about that, allergy season. And also my nose is bugging me, but back on track. So he tells Myra to basically run away and forget that she ever met him, and he won't hesitate to kill her if she decides against that. Which seems to be a likely story that the author remarks. So they basically Myra then goes exploring and finds that the entire town in the game is abandoned. Like, there's notes everywhere. There's blood in one of the leading into one of the buildings, and basically, from what I recall, the notes say that nothing will ever be right, or something similar to that. But yeah, so Myra then heads over to the guild, and okay, I might need to jump ahead a little because I'm worried my camera's gonna die, but you'll have to check out the story itself to know what happens. So yeah, basically when Myra makes it to the guild, she sees that apparently a lot of the Pokemon have become rather disturbed and different. Like, they don't have any color to them, they're bleeding everywhere, and they even encounter some kind of weird zombie Wigglytuff, to which Myra then ends up setting the guild on fire. Eventually, later throughout a dungeon, we see what has been going on, and it's revealed that when Myra gets to the end, she's confronted by a Squirtle who is very, very, very injured, like, and very maimed as well. Like, it's really bad. Like, it's And basically Shadow tries to get them to stop fighting. Well, actually he tries to keep Squirtle from hurting Myra. And Squirtle is like, why are you doing this? Like, she's the one responsible for all of this. But Shadow confesses that, and brings up thinks that maybe that their destinies have changed. like, maybe Squirtle isn't meant to be the hero when it's supposed to be Myra. But Squirtle denies this, saying that no, she's the one who's doing this. She caused the end of the world. She's everything I'm not. But Shadow ends up sorry about that, seemingly betraying Squirtle and joining Myra. But Squirtle then ends up killing Shadow. And the game then resets, and Squirtle tries to get the narrator to play as her. And it seemingly works, except Myra still has her memories intact since she appears to be the partner at first, but then Squirtle, then she stabs her in the head. And eventually, later on, the narrator gets Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, and once again, after they fulfill the test results, they're once again chosen to be Squirtle. And the story ends with, I guess some people never change. Sorry about that, excuse me. So, yeah, I am so sorry about that. Excuse me. So, this one, I haven't seen a lot of pokepastas about Mystery Dungeon or any game in the series about one. But yeah, this is one of my personal favorites because I like the dynamic between Myra, Squirtle, and Shadow. Because later on, because Myra is a rather mysterious character. She, like all silent protagonists, only keeps her thoughts to herself, and we don't hear her say a word at all, in the game at least. And Squirtle, she appears to be that, because at one point, because she thinks that Myra has stolen her destiny, her identity, and even her partner, and even her life. She thinks that she was meant to be the hero, but Myra took it from her. And also, which apparently this resulted in the world of the Mystery Dungeon series to become corrupt, more to basically it became like their end of the world, I suppose. I don't know. And apparently these zombie-like Pokemon are called and correct me if I'm wrong, are called the Unborn. They basically, since there's a part where Myra encounters Bidoof and he tells her that they want to be right again, and Shadow even brings this up, that maybe Myra herself also wants things to be right too, but in order to do this, to be honest, I don't know how things could be. Like I said, the story's a bit complicated. As well as the characters, because, you know, it seems that at first glance that Squirtle is just using Myra as a scapegoat in order to thinking that she didn't cause the end of the world, Myra did. Sorry about that. That, and she's at one point says that Myra is everything she isn't, everything that she wants to be. And despite everything, despite everything that Squirtle has been doing, I kind of got like a feeling that despite her words and everything, I get the feeling like there was still like at least some part of her that still cared about their world, and even sorry about that, and even about Shadow. But she's become so I don't know, because I don't think we ever get a clear-cut answer as to what actually happened to this world, as far as I know. But whatever happened, it obviously, well, they're living a nightmare, so, and when panic is left unchecked, people will sometimes try to find someone to blame or something to blame. I don't know. But yeah, and also, one thing about Myra is that she has, like, these chains around her neck that don't come off. And apparently, this isn't just, Myra isn't the only one who has them. Basically, the rest of the Pokemon that you can choose, that you get in the beginning as yourself and your partner, they all have the same chains around their necks. And they're basically are unborn as well. And I also like how I kind of felt like a theme of denial of oneself, along with some kind of identity theft theme going on with this, but then again, I'm probably wrong. So, because, well, Squirtle says that Myra took everything from her, and even seemingly, to her at least, her identity. But, like I said, the characters are complicated. But, yeah, they're complicated. There is a part where, because there's also a part where the narrator tries to define Squirtle by trying to pick Vulpix again, and it's revealed that Shadow can't be... The first time they try this, Shadow can't be the partner anymore. And during that scene where Myra gets to play the partner instead, and Squirtle is, well, back to normal. Like, she isn't, like, maimed or anything, or she doesn't have her organs exposed, which, yeah, is pretty gross. But she then stabs Myra in the head, and the narrator tries again, but text appears saying that Myra can't be your partner and can't be your hero. And that Squirtle is the real one. Like, it seems that Squirtle was possibly originally going to be the hero, but maybe what Shadow says was true. Maybe their destinies did change. Maybe they themselves changed. But at the same time, they could as maybe they were corrupted. Like Squirtle at one point says that no, they were corrupted. But yeah, I really liked how, like, you don't know, like, how this story, like, makes the characters complicated. Like, you don't know if, you don't know that much about their history, or where they, like, did this event that changed their world and made everything, well, not right, changed them, for better or for worse, or is it just something that's going on? Like, was it because Myra tried to fight destiny? Or maybe because she didn't accept who she was. But, yeah. But, yeah, and because despite everything that Shadow says to Squirtle, she still thinks that Myra was the one who was making him think this way. Which she possibly still cares about him. But, yeah, and I also kind of like how, and it kind of felt like Strangled Red in a way, because, well, the ending kind of, because the narrator didn't actually, well, with Strangled Red it was a lot more ambiguous whether or not the author was killed or not. But at the end, we see that the narrator is very much alive still once they get Pokemon's Super Mystery Dungeon. Excuse me. And yeah, and Shadow, I also think that Shadow, like, for Squirtle, Shadow seemingly betraying her was the straw that broke the camel's back, because she does seem utterly heartbroken about it. But, yeah. And, yeah, that's kind of all I have for now. And I will admit, but, oh, side note before I sign off. The idea of zombie Pokemon is actually rather interesting. mean, I get the feeling that they're not actual zombies. And yeah, I should probably say they're called, like I said, they're called the Unborn. So I don't know if they're technically zombies in all but name, but I mean, the story reference them as zombies, but maybe they're different. But yeah, sorry for ranting a little. But yeah, that's kind of all I have for now. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!